What happened was I saw one time a 6-foot mirror when I was 15 years old, and I looked in the mirror. I was standing there in front of the mirror, totally naked, and there was one particular part of my body that was bigger than the rest of it. I'm a man of perfection.
Yeah.
And so I said to myself, I got to bring the rest of the body up to the standard of this one part. And so that's when I started exercising.
Survivorship bias. So I'll give you an example. In World War II, the planes that were coming back with bullet holes from the AA, the RAF said we need to put more armor where the planes are getting hit most often. Where the most bullet holes are, we need more armor. Makes sense, right? And then some very smart person said, no. Places that are getting hit so often and the plane's still getting home are the places it's okay to get hit. The places where we never see a plane get hit and still make it home, where there's no bullet holes, is where we need the armor. Because every time a plane gets hit there, they never make it back. Survivorship bias. So
we don't know what we don't know. We don't see what we don't see.
Correct.
I went to school for construction management, and I was told it's 100% job placement. You're going to have a job in Dallas making 75, 80. So I graduate and bam, no jobs. 2009, I would take my little resume that basically had nothing on it. I would go to these companies and apply for jobs where they're building this hospital in Baton Rouge. It was this huge project. It was like 40 mil, and they have these job trailers set up outside. So I'd go try to give the gatekeeper a resume, and she's like, son, you know I can't do that. Well, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Come back like 4 or 5 days later, and I see him. I know the boss is here. So no. The third time I went, she goes, you know what? Stay right there. He goes in the back. She gets this old grizzled, angry ass looking 50-something-year-old white man. Says, are you Justin? I guess, sir. Come with me. So we go to the back, pops down in his chair, and he's like, and I'm like, and he looks at it, and he looks at me, and he looks at it, and he looks at me, throws it down on the table, and he goes, you've been in here multiple times. Yes, sir. Interrupting my job. I'm out here working a $40 million project, and you're coming here off the streets 3 or 4 and 5 times, trying to see me to get a job. And I'm like, yes, sir. And he just leans back in his chair, and he goes, I like that shit.
So that Lamborghini fooled you to sell you another car?
Yeah, they
How did that happen?
They called me and they said, do you want to come to Bologna, Italy and test all of our newest models? We're going to do a braking challenge, a track challenge, an off-road challenge, and we'll fly you to Italy and we'll put you in a hotel. Of course I said yes, and I said to Tristan before I go, I'm not going to buy a car, I'm not going to buy a car. I think I'm going to buy a car.
Did we take steroids? The answer is yes. It was just in the beginning stage because bodybuilders in those days just experimented with it, but it was not illegal. It was like, we talked about it very openly. I mean, anyone that was asked, he says, you take steroids? He says, yeah, I take 3 Dianabol a day. Or someone else would say, I would take this, and that. It was not an illegal thing.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to.
Midday.
Yeah.
What's Luke's usual bedtime? 5 p.m.?
5 p.m. Correct.
5 p.m. because he's a little sleepyhead. Well, these is an amazing American potion that I've discovered. I've had 4 already. What do you mean? So if I drink my 5th one, then I'll be up for 25 hours.
5 hour interval. It doesn't make sense.
So now you can't sleep until 10.
5 hour interval.
Yeah. To make sure Luke doesn't go to sleep.
Wait, so it's nasty as well?
It's horrible. Delicious.
It's not delicious. I saw it on your face.
It was so tasty that's how. Drink your thing. It will energize the booze.
Really?
Yeah. Booze times 2. Booze squared. That's right. Yeah. It's a good system.
It's literally like cough medicine.
Nice.
Tyson, you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. Full of pills, don't know what the fuck they for. Tell them bitches, but you know the devil can't fucking overdose. Darkness taking over all the souls. The look of terror on the faces of the best is poison in the form of the fire burning devil of the answers to the question you've been searching. The depths of hell filled with the forbidden hills. Coffin with no fucking else. Bodies encased in the metal cells. Look into my fucking eyes, go face to face with the devil himself.
So what's the most awkward name you got?
I had someone ask me if I could wear the same pair of underwear for a week and then mail it to them.
That's a little out of pocket, yeah.
Someone asked me if I would text them every day degrading them and they'd pay me.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
And I
Yeah,
said,
dude, people are weird. We live in
I said,
a
no,
weird...
thank you.
generation. Would you pick me or Dak Prescott?
You.
Why?
Because I love you.
Yeah, but Dak's got bread.
I don't care.
Really?
I don't care.
Free football tickets?
I don't care.
You're tired. You don't want to work. You want to go to sleep and just relax. You do it fucking anyway.
That is the most basic imperative of the masculine brain, which has been destroyed in real time. They are trying to convince you that you should act how you feel. Look, I have no problem with guys crying. Sometimes guys cry, right? My dad died, I cried. What I'm saying is the reason they're trying to bring out emotionality in you is because of exactly what Myron said. Most of the time, you don't feel like doing the things you're supposed to do. But the true masculine frame throughout history was doing the things they didn't want to do, but they knew they had to do because they had honor and duty. That's what honor and duty means. I say this all the time. The biggest periods of transformation in my life is when everything was going wrong. That's when I'm like, okay, more shit has all the bad things that happen to you as a man. If you're stoic, you get to take unlimited energy. Heartbreak is unlimited energy. So is depression. So is rage. So is sadness. All these negative emotions they tell you to collapse behind.
A question for Professor Peterson. Why do you feel that someone's personal gender identity and pronouns infringes your free speech? Can one not also argue, based on your interpretation, that professors can use racial slurs in their classroom and that the inability to do so would violate their freedom of speech?
There's a difference between saying that there's something you can't say and saying that there are things that you have to say. And I regard these made-up pronouns as the neologisms of radical PC authoritarians. Do you understand that? I'm not a fan of that sort of person. And the reason I'm not a fan of that sort of person is because I've done my homework. I've read everything I can get my hands on in the development of authoritarian political systems, and I know the literature inside out and backwards. I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that.
Conor talks shit to people and with their head. I mean, it's a giant part of his game. Seeing Conor throw the dolly at the bus and screaming and yelling, shattering in the window, all these guys running and screaming, get off the bus. And the UFC used that to sell that fight. This is all not what Khabib does. He's very respectful, but not Conor. Conor was saying to him, this is just business. It's just business. And he's like, let's talk now. Let's talk now. With Khabib, he's like, I can't wait to get my hands on you. When I'm on top of you and you're tired and I'm beating the out of you, that's when we're going to talk. And that's what he did.
Having money in and of itself really isn't that interesting.
No, it's not.
You buy the house, you buy the car, you buy the watches, you buy some clothes, blah, blah. It's boring. It's only cool to sit there with my brother in the Nurse restaurant with Salt Bae being an idiot, spending 15 G's and saying, do you remember when we didn't have a penny?
Right.
15 grand for dinner? We never had 15 grand in our savings account in our lives.
Man.
Why do you think the song Niggas in Paris is called Niggas in Paris? Because niggas was in Paris.
First nigga gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? This shit crazy. Y'all don't know that no shit pays. Yes, we go. Oh, 82 and I'm looking like a shit crazy.
There's two types of men out there, the purpose-driven man and the pleasure-driven man. Let me tell you about the pleasure-driven man. The pleasure-driven man is someone who is out of shape, in a mental funk, suffering in silence, going through life in a state of depression, anxiety, and stress. He knows he's meant for more, except he's not willing to step out of his comfort zone to get what he deserves in life. Then there's the purpose-driven man. The purpose-driven man knows that he deserves more, and he goes after what he wants. He's a man of discipline, a man of productivity, a man of time management. He's a protector and a provider, and he's a savage servant.
You fucking fucking slaves. If your number one concern right now in your life is to get money into your fucking bank account, eternal slavery awaits you and your entire fucking bloodline. If I wasn't rich, watching the last 2 years of fucking chaos would panic me. They're destroying your currency and they're taking your freedom and they're wrecking your fucking life. And your dumb ass, broke, isn't sitting there going, fuck, I need to get rich. God, thank you very, very much for giving me what I deserve, because I worked very, very hard to be rich. Get your shit together or your